Welcome to Everyday Economics, a podcast that helps you learn about the economic world happening around you every day. I'm your host, Chris Krug, president of the 501c3 nonprofit Franklin News Foundation. Everyday Economics is a production of America's Talking Network. You can check out all of our great podcasts at americastalking.com. To support podcasts such as this one, please make your tax-deductible contribution by clicking the link in the show description. We are recording this episode on Friday, October 14th. And joining me, as always, is Dr. Orphe Divounguy, PhD economist. Orphe, how you living?
Like everybody else, I struggle with prices rising like crazy. You know, they're soaring.
What's the biggest thing that you bought in the last 2 weeks?
Gas.
Oh, yeah. All right. You win.
You know, I mean, seriously, right?
What are you paying for a gallon of gasoline in the greater Seattle area?
Like $5.25, $5.30 in my state.
That's a lot. Well, I mean, Kroger outdid you. So Kroger grocery store, which, was the number 2 largest grocer in the nation, they bought Albertsons, was the number 4 largest grocer in the nation. So now that was announced earlier this morning. It had been rumored for the last couple of days, but it looks like there's an agreement in place and that's going to happen. In the market where I live in suburban Chicago, we have both Kroger and Albertsons. Neither runs under that trade name here. I mean, we have the Jewel Osco, which is the Albertsons product, and we have Mariano's, which is more of a fresh market store that is part of the Kroger family. And so now, pretty much with the exception of Fresh Time, which is a smaller independent type grocer. They're a corporate grocer, but they're small in comparison. And then, of course, Costco and Walmart and Target. But our mainline grocery stores are going to become under the same umbrella. What happens when that happens? We don't talk about a lot of consumer level stuff on this show, but I think that we could and should. And so I'm bringing this question to you today, sir.
I don't know if I should use the word fear, but I fear that as the cost of everything increases, more and more companies will be more than happy and willing to join forces.
Yeah.
This is potentially what's going to continue to happen. In my opinion, this might not actually be good for consumers.
I don't think it will be. In my local market, I don't think this is going to be good at all.
Yeah. You're going to have a choice between Kroger and Kroger.
Yes. Do I want to turn left at the top of my street or do I want to turn right at the top of my street? Because the stores are almost literally equidistant from each other from my house. Right. So I could pick Kroger or Kroger in this new world.
And Kroger will determine the price in the market because Kroger is the dominant firm. It's got all the stores in your area, probably even in your state. And all the little guys are going to be price takers. In other words, they have to price according to what Kroger decides.
Right.
And so that worries me a little bit. It worries me also because Kroger becomes the dominant employer.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is no knock on Kroger. You're just simply talking about
the economics of the whole thing.
Yes. Because Kroger's actually
pretty good.
Pretty terrific store. I mean, you have them out where you are. Yeah, right.
I do. I mean, in fact, I choose Kroger over the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
In my state, we have Fred Meyer, I think it's called.
Fred Meyer, yeah.
Yeah, Fred Meyer. Mm-hmm. It's a Kroger company, I think.
Yes, it is.
And I choose Kroger over Safeway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I'm a big Kroger fan. So I'm just talking about the economics here. And the economics are Kroger becomes the big shot in town.
Yes.
Right? In the labor market, it means people have a choice between Kroger and Kroger. So Kroger determines wages for those guys in that sector, in that industry. In the goods market, Kroger determines the price because the choice for consumers is Kroger or Kroger. The little guys can't fight Kroger. They can't compete. So that's a little concerning. And it's kind of the way the world is headed. Like if you think about it, more and more bigger and bigger firms that are swallowing entire industries. A handful of firms make up a quarter or a third of the S&P 500. I mean, we're going there, unfortunately.
So the way that this will work out, I mean, just to kind of put a finer point to it, that collectively, after this deal closes, provided it closes, it looks like it, there's an agreement, but of course, we have to get the lawyers involved, as they like to say. These two companies will employ more than 700,000 people across 5,000 stores. I mean, that is like quite literally like a city of people that will be working for this combined initiative, Kroger and Albertsons. And what happens in the inside of that? I mean, in consolidation. I mean, do stores potentially close? I mean, does that create the opportunity to do that?
There are going to be some efficiency, potentially some, efficiency gains to be made. Potentially.
I mean, and we're talking about this generically. I mean, we're not commenting at all on Kroger or Albertsons
specifically, right?
Just talking about.
In fact, I want to turn this conversation about just like these massive cartels that we're seeing out there. Big players that swallow up entire industries. Kroger happens to be one of those big giants. Walmart is another big giant, right?
Yes.
Look at Amazon. Now I'm thinking like I put my kid in coding classes because I'm like, look, the only job that will be left in the world will be Amazon eventually. I mean, that's kind of the stuff that you have to think about. And so potentially there are great things that come out of this, right? More efficiency, maybe lower prices, potentially, maybe. Prices don't necessarily have to go up, maybe lower prices, but there are risks. I'm a big fan of competition because competition leads to quality improvements more often than not, help the consumer.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about this today. For Orphe Divounguy, this has been Chris Krug. Subscribe to Everyday Economics and dozens of other quality podcasts on americastalking.com.